would say this is the second best shot of the day. Justin Thomas chipping in. He finished third at -5. Incidentally, Ricky Fowler was -3, so he was 6th.
Morning fog around, but it will break by the afternoon, and it is going to be dry after a snowy and damp day through the central parts of the province. Clearing day on Monday, back into the precipitation on Tuesday. Could see some mixed precip in there as well. Even
I thought they dated for 62 years.
No, they weren't together for 62 years.
They'd be common law at that point.
Exactly.
Well,
Exactly. After a year, you're common law.
You know.
No, Hazel and Skip dated 62 years ago, and then they broke up. And then this weekend, they got married.
To be standing like this, we have to keep the cameraman happy here. That's right. So we can begin. We can begin. Now this is fun. I'm about to retire in about 4 months, and this is the most unique wedding I have ever come across. Well, you know the story probably better than I, but if I asked you, you would tell it differently than these two have told it to me, okay, of what happened. So I was lucky enough to spend some time with Skip and then Hazel, and the stories, they end up the same way, but I'm not too sure about who was pursuing who. It's never quite clear. You know, who? Skip! But that's just one opinion, so I'm glad we could have that straightened out.
So Skip, what are you holding there?
I'm holding a paper from Saskatoon in Regina, and I've been getting it as a result of a lady from Saskatoon that arranged a complimentary copy to me. And I was looking at this paper, and I went through one evening, and I found an article that was put in. In reading, I've come across this article put in by Mr. and Mrs. Dittmar. I noticed it was the Cranbrook couple, so I immediately looked up their address and phone number and phoned them, and Mr. Dittmar said that his wife May was in Joseph's Creek Rest Home. So I went in and interviewed May, and then she gave me a history book, and it was from White Fox, Saskatchewan. And when I got home, I read it and found the Moonie family history, and then I looked up each individual member and where they were living, and then I got on the telephone to try and find one that would put me in contact with Hazel, and I found a gentleman in Moose Jaw, and then he gave me a phone number in Kamloops, and the lady in Kamloops said, "I'll pass it on," and then she passed it on to my wife's daughter, Colleen, in Kelowna, and Colleen phoned her mom in Chase, BC, and her mom then proceeded to phone me and left a message for me, and then I come home and phoned her, and then she said, "I understand you're looking for me," and I said yes. So we talked, and the month of November we ran up a very large telephone bill, and Hazel flew in on the 1st of December, and she decided she didn't want to go back home.
Just going to get a little closer. Skip, I'd like you to face your bride and hold her hand. I'm going to take these and give them to your bridesmaid. You've got these too. And remember, we agreed that you'll be looking into your bride's eyes as you repeat after me. In the presence of God,
in the presence of God,
our families and friends,
our families and friends,
I, Skip, take you, Hazel,
I, Skip, take you, Hazel,
to be my wife,
to be my wife,
to love you and honor you,
to love you and honor you,
to give thanks for you,
to give thanks to you,
and to serve you,
and to serve you,
to be faithful to you,
to be faithful to you,
and to share all that our life together may bring. Following Christ's command, that we love one another, as Christ first loved us. And Hazel, your turn. Looking into your beau's eyes, in the presence of God,
in the presence of God,
our families and friends, I, Hazel, take you, Skip,
I, Hazel, take you, Skip,
to be my husband,
to be my husband,
to love you and honor you,
to love you and honor you,
to give thanks for you,
to give thanks for you,
and to serve you,
and to serve you,
to be faithful to you,
faithful to you,
and to share all that our life together
and to share all of our life together
may bring.
may bring.
Following Christ's command,
Following Christ's command,
that we love one another,
that we love one another,
as Christ first loved us.
as Christ first loved us.
Thank you. And we'll need Hazel's ring. So, Robert, I think that's...
I got a ring there, but that's too big for Hazel.
And Skip, if you could say, Hazel, I give you this ring,
Hazel, I give you this ring,
that you may wear it
that you may wear it
as a symbol of our marriage.
as a symbol of our marriage. There, I made it.
And this ring. Skip, I give you this ring,
Skip, I give you this ring,
that you may wear it
that you may wear it
as a symbol of our marriage.
as a symbol of our marriage.
You'll slide it on. And let me make this declaration. Oh, that's... For as much as you, Hazel, and you, Skip, have made this solemn covenant of marriage before God and before all of us here, and have pledged your vows to each other and have confirmed them by the joining of your hands and the giving and receiving of a ring. Now therefore, in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, I declare you to be husband and wife. Amen. You may kiss. He was waiting for that.
Yeah, I know.
It's a love story, and we've been talking about it, hearing about it, and living it for at the least 3 months now. Mom actually told me about Skip about 3 years ago, and after we had lost, actually 7 years ago, after we had lost my dad, and she had told me about her long lost love, Skip. And so we researched and we found him, but he was in Cranbrook, and so she didn't pursue it. And then Skip tried to find her I believe it was last September, and was contacting through our cousins, and they contacted me. And then I gave Mom Skip's information, and she contacted him. So both of them were searching for each other and just had to find the right time to renew their love. I know that Skip's friend had been talking to Skip, had posted information about the Moonies and my mom from Saskatchewan, and then that got Skip information about my mom, and then he found a cousin who then contacted me, and that's how we made the connections. But my mom had moved back to Saskatchewan when she was 17 after working in Cranbrook, and that's where her and Skip had their first, relationship, love, and then they went on with their lives, married other people that they loved and had kids, and then again renewed that love, and it's a love story, and we're very fortunate to see this. Well, we know to value the beautiful days. Winter's just ending and it's sunny out. It feels like spring, renewed love. It's a wonderful experience to see your mom so happy, and I'm sure for Skip's family to see Skip so happy. We're blessed.
How do you feel about Hazel getting married?
It's new. Yeah, I don't really know. It's new.
It's a fun experience coming down to Cranbrook.
Yeah.
Right on.
Well, like I've said to my seniors that I work with, since my mom and Skip have been talking, and then of course this big day has come, this to me has restored faith in love, because obviously love was meant to be with them two to be together, and for them to wait and search each other out after 62 years, I think this is real love. That they're really in love. That's what it means to me. I'm blessed to be in Cranbrook. It's a beautiful city, beautiful scenery, and really, really nice people.
And Skip, everybody knows him by Skip. His real name Marvin.
Marvin, yes.
But he's really well known in Cranbrook, and he's a really nice guy.
Well, that's what I'm finding out. I hear he's quite the catch. And my mom has him for the rest of their lives together, and he treats her like a queen, and she treats him like a king, and I think it's wonderful. I'm pleased to have met such a wonderful man and to have him in my life.
Have you seen some of the work that he's done for historical purposes in Cranbrook? He wrote a book.
I've heard he's written a book. I haven't been here long enough. I only got here last night.
Yeah.
But I've seen his awards and his plaques and his recognition things that he's received from Cranbrook. So he's a pretty good guy.
I'll just bet you that he could tell you about any homesteader, the very first people that came to Cranbrook. He knows all their families. He knows where they went and how they progressed through the years in Cranbrook. So
yeah.
So he's really.
And
quite
he's so soft-spoken. He's easy to listen to. You know, some men are. He's very soft-spoken, and you want to listen to him because you know he's got something to tell you. And maybe some history or some information. It's been pretty nice visit.
Yeah. And again, maybe Tammy, just capsulize what this means. All the years, all the years apart, and now serendipitously they're together.
I didn't know about Skip. My younger sister knew more than I did. I think it's just wonderful that they found each other, and then they can live with each other for the rest of their life, and be happy and be in love. You know, I think it's wonderful.
And only miss Valentine's Day by 2 weeks.
Well, I thought it was going to be on Valentine's Day, and we were having snow up where I live, so I was like, oh. But I was happy she waited, and I'm happy we could all be here.
Thank you, Tammy.
Thank you. Skip found the history of families that lived in White Fox. But he found Mom and the Moonies and researched like each family.
Yes.
And then
By
Skip.
telephone.
Yes. And then Skip also tried phoning maybe the Reynolds in Kamloops.
And up in the Caribou.
Oh, in the Caribou too.
Oh, I tried. I was just about ready to give up. One in Moose Jaw.
That's a true love story, Skip.
And then I got the phone number to Kamloops.
I thought you got the phone number to Kelowna.
No, from
Oh,
Cranbrook.
right, Nora and Bob.
Yeah, and then it went to Colleen in Kelowna,
Yeah.
and she phoned her mom in Chase, and then her mom phoned me in Fort Steele,
Yeah.
and I got her message when I got home, and then she just put on her message, I think I heard that you were looking for me. And so then I phoned her, and she nonchalantly says, hi, just no surprise. I thought, well, maybe she doesn't want to, but the month of November, my telephone bill was considerable.
Yeah. Well, because you guys would talk for so long.
Oh,
And she'd
terrible.
sneak off to her bedroom. Didn't want any of us to hear these conversations.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, it was, but as I say, after all those years, she flew in the 1st of December.
I know that.
And we met at the airport, and the security gentleman took our picture, and it was wonderful from there on.
Yeah, wasn't Mom just going to come for Christmas? That's what she told me.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go spend Christmas with Skip. Well, what is it, February 27th? And
Yeah.
now you're a married man.
Yeah.
And
that
she's a
showed-
married lady.
Is she around?
Yeah.
Holy man.
So what do you have here, Skip? This is the...
This is the cake.
Yes,
Yeah.
tying them on. Oh, do you want the cardboard box?
What do you have to say, Mom?
I'm a very happy lady.
Was it worth waiting 62 years?
Say it on the mic.
I'm a very happy lady. I'm honored to be his wife
After 62 years?
after 62 years.
So that restores
Things are
faith
meant
and
to
love.
be.
For me, your life and your love for each other restores faith and love to me.
That's good.
Well, my wife, 4 years ago, had her daughter pull her up with the Facebook,
Yeah.
and she saw that I was married, so she just end of situation, and but she didn't give up, thank goodness. And then when I found the article in the senior paper from Saskatoon, everything that May Dittmar put in the paper, everything opened up.
It all went
Hey.
together. It's
Yeah.
worked out for the best.
Fantastic, and May was our maid of honor. Absolutely wonderful.
Yes.
You got more to add? Anything? Eh? Yeah.
Oh, do you want a kiss?
So you have to do that again for me.
We have to kiss again? Well, you have to
Yeah.
kiss again.
Okay.
There, how's that one?
That'd be biggie. Good thing I'm not young and blushing.
How's that, Mike?
Let me get a shot at the cake here.
Okay. I'll let you hold it, okay?
Okay. Tie the knot.
That's a great story, and we were talking about the chronicles that they had when Saskatchewan celebrated its 100th year in Confederation. They had small communities make a history book, like Skip did, but it was supported by the government, of all of the families in the districts. And that's where the photo was taken out of, wasn't it? And yeah, so that's why I call Saskatchewan the Holy Land. And Bob, if you could come, please.
Father was Skip. Your dad was Skip. No, your dad was Alec.
And we'll have you just sign next to that exit. Yeah, thanks. Thank you. Oh, that's a little piece of paper that gets around. Well, this is a time when I would ask you to stand again. And a wonderful pronouncement. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mr. and Mrs. Fennessy. Here's a little something I shared with Skip and Hazel, and it's a blessing, and it goes like this. May the sun bring you new energies by day. May the moon softly restore you by night. May the rain wash away any worries you may have, and the breeze blow new strength into your being. And all the days of your life, may you walk gently through the world and know its beauty. Thank you. Amen. Well, that was wonderful. You can be seated, you can dance, you can shout for joy, and give the bride and groom a hug. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. And where are you from?
I'm from Chase, BC.
Oh, okay. A BC boy. Yeah.
BC boy.
Yeah.
Chase.
Chase too?
Yeah.
Ah, you two are together.
That's just my brother.
Yeah, just, well, I can see your siblings. That's just my brother.
I love it. Very nice service.
Robert. To the point, and what a celebration. And thanks for happening. So you were born in Lethbridge then?
Well, my dad was a railroad just before the Depression. When he got a chance to hold a job and left down there. And then the Depression hit and he couldn't hold a job, so they moved back. So I was about 6 months old when they came.
The windy, windy city. Still is. Still is. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And where are you two from?
Kelowna.
Kelowna.
West Kelowna.
Just over the next, just the next range over.
Right.
I'm glad you could make it. That's pretty special.
Wonderful.
That's pretty
Yes.
special.
Well, we said we won't make it to Mom's 80th, but we would make it to this one. We'll be here.
This is so special.
It's very special.
I'm just going.
Because Hazel originally worked in the old St. Eugene Hospital for a very short time.
So, what kind of things did you do when you were
We went
dating back in
we went to Jaffrey dance, Fort Steele dances,
Hiking up to
hiking, out hunting. Went up on the Eager Lookout Hill, and then she got a very sudden jolt. A friend turned her into the sisters at the hospital that she wasn't old enough to be there, so they released her and she had to go back home to White Fox, Saskatchewan.
Hazel, what does it mean to you to be together after all these years?
You know, it means a lot. Companionship and somebody to enjoy your days with and do things with and go shopping and just to enjoy, somebody to talk to or whatever be, you know. And so I'm sure that if we both try, it'll be wonderful.
Has he changed very much over the years?
Slightly. It's obvious where one changes with hair and figure and wrinkles.
And you lost your husband when?
8 years ago. Yes.
Personality-wise, you know, you've got a real catch here. He's the man of the town. He's a historian, and he knows more about Cranbrook than most people.
That's right. And he's introduced me to a lot of lovely people and I feel only right that this is where we should live, make our home, because he's born and bred here, and, you know, it's his roots. Whereas me, I have lived a number of different places, and I'm willing for him. I love him enough that I will live here.
Excellent.
But preferably in town, because I'm really not fond of the bush.
We live 4 miles south of Fort Steele on the Fort Steele Bull River Road.
It's pretty rural.
Yes.
I'm very happy to have a partner, a wonderful person, and as Hazel says, it's wonderful to be together. I lost my wife last June, and it's been pretty lonely, but I had spent time going up to read to Jerry Parnell in Joseph's Creek, and she's 96, and then I would take her out for lunch and drives because she doesn't have much vision. So it was a real pleasure to help her. I would like to have had her at the service, but we had to cut down on the number of people.
Yeah.
Much to I think we really didn't want to, but we kept it small. After all these years.
Yes.
Do you think there's some divine intervention into you getting back together with Hazel?
We'll still be friends. Yeah, we agreed that we still go up, and we went up and told her we were being married, and the friendship is, she's a wonderful person, and we don't want to lose her friendship.
So it was a lot of persistence and quite a lot of luck that you got back together with Hazel.
It's just by luck. If I hadn't got the senior paper, I don't operate these computers and Facebook, so it was simply pure luck. But they had put the article in, and it was a Cranbrook couple, and otherwise I was out of luck. My wife was different. Her daughter can operate the Facebook, and she 4 years ago looked me up, and she knew I was in Fort Steele, but she said, "Oh, he's still married," so that's the end of it. Now it's.
Well, that's really nice. Well, congratulations to both of you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for televising it. We really appreciate it. It's a real loss in our life.
Hope this moves on to other people and makes them happy too.
I'm just going to give you the last word, Hazel. Anything else you want to say about the day?
I'm honored to be Skip's wife, and I hope that this will help other people to get together and enjoy life and do your best and be happy. Okay?
Very good. Thank you.
Well, that was a lovely economic story. Now you know what we need?
What? A love story.
That's right.
You're right. A love story. You got to pump it. The heart. There you go. Exactly. Keep doing that. It's a wedding that was more than 6 decades in the making. Okay. Hazel and Skip finally tied the knot this afternoon in Cranbrook after their hearts were broken as teenagers. Kristen Robinson explains.
Love story. That's covered 7 decades. Amazing.
80-year-old Hazel and 83-year-old Marvin Skip Fennessy are making up for lost time and the wedding they never had more than 62 years ago.
To love you and honor you.
To love you and honor you.
The couple finally exchanging vows in Cranbrook.
You may kiss. He was waiting for that.
Yeah, I know.
Skip has been waiting since 1953. That's when a 17-year-old Hazel left Cranbrook for White Fox, Saskatchewan. There she met Skip and they fell in love.
We went to a Jaffrey dance, Fort Steele dances,
Hiking up to
hiking, out hunting.
But their fling was brief. Too young to get married, they broke apart and moved on to marry other people. Then 7 years ago, after her husband died, Hazel asked one of her daughters to help her find Skip.
She told me about her long-lost love, Skip. And so we researched and we found him, but he was in Cranbrook, and so she didn't pursue it.
She saw that I was married, so she just, end of situation.
After Skip's wife passed away last June, the unofficial Cranbrook town historian stumbled across an article in the senior paper from Regina that led him to Hazel, who was living in Chase, BC.
So then I phoned her, and she nonchalantly says, hi, just no surprise. The month of November, my telephone bill was considerable.
Well, because you guys would talk for so long.
Oh,
and she'd
terrible.
sneak off to her bedroom. Didn't want any of us to hear these conversations.
Hazel went to visit Skip in Cranbrook last December and never came back. 3 months later, she is officially Hazel Fennessy.
And it's a love story, and we're very fortunate to see this.
He treats her like a queen, and she treats him like a king, and I think it's wonderful.
I am a very happy lady. I'm honored to be his wife.
After 62 years?
After 62 years.
Kristen Robinson, Global News.
That is a
It's all
passionate
about the
kiss.
love.
Exactly.
One love.
One love.
Well, in this case,
True
two
love.
loves. But yeah.
That's nice. We like happy endings.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do.